Today I would like to update you about the water tank project being run at Anguganak. Anguganak is situated in a remote part of PNG up in the northwest corner, and it was started by the Christian Brethren churches in the 1950s as a mission station. It now has a school, a Bible school and a healthcare centre. Since 2015 we have been going as the Anguganak Healthy Motherhood Project, taking safe motherhood training workshops to each year to Anguganak for the village birth attendants and the healthcare workers. We also take resources for the health workers to equip them for safe birth, and we also encourage women to make the decision to give birth at the healthcare centre. This is enhanced by providing them with a bag full of useful items for mothers and babies that they receive when they give birth at Anguganak. We work with the healthcare team there in Anguganak, and they are involved with the training and the decision making. They help run the workshop, and we have up to 200 women coming for the workshops each year. And we provide up-to-date life-saving skills for the health workers. Anguganak's healthcare centre has deteriorated over the last 20 to 30 years and is in need of improvements in regards especially to water. Therefore, at present it is difficult for staff to wash their hands. It's difficult to keep the wards clean because they do not have a reliable water source. This is the ward that the mothers and babies go to after birth, and they share it with everybody else, and that could be somebody with TB, someone with infected wounds. It can be quite frightening for the women to have to spend the night there. The old part of the hospital is no longer used, and yet this used to be a thriving operating theatre and could do caesarean sections, but that is no longer an option. The surgeons will not visit Anguganak at present because there is no running water for them to wash their hands. And so the idea of the water tank project was begun by a New Zealand doctor who was a missionary there, Dr. Max Stevenson, and he asked us to come on board and support the project and to join with them in supporting the local community to bring this about. We realise that water is connected to health, and with healthcare you need to be able to wash your hands, you need to be able to offer sanitation, and a woman needs to be able to have a shower and needs to be able to access a proper toilet, and that the whole community's health can be affected when there is not a reliable water source. And so Dr. Max Stevenson is very passionate about improving the healthcare centre, getting it back to the state that it used to be in. We have a champion in Anguganak, and that is Stephen. He is an engineer and he is leading the project from the Anguganak end. There are many other members in the community that we have a strong connection with who are working to support this project. That is the vocational education people and the healthcare workers. Many of them have a strong Christian faith and are keen to see an improvement with the support that comes from HealthServe and our team in New Zealand. The men in New Zealand are the ones that have drawn the drawings with input from Stephen. At the local level, they have now held ceremonies to start the project. They love formal process. They love to have ceremonies and have dignitaries to come and to open the project and to bless it and say prayers. And so these photos are taken from the ceremony at the beginning of the project. They don't have the access to run down to the hardware shop and get all their supplies at Bunnings, and so that has impacted on the time it has taken to get this project underway, and then the COVID-19 has also had a major impact on slowing the progress. So when they need timber, they need to go find the trees. They purchase the tree, and then with a portable milling machine, they then fell the tree and then turn that tree into wood. They then need to bring it back from wherever they've milled the timber and bring it back to Anguganak, which was also a slow process. Then they got the community behind them, and each village in the surrounding area that accessed the healthcare centre was given the job to provide their quota of rocks and gravel and sand that needed to be carted up from the riverbed down below. And so it has been a big community project which actually helps give them more ownership and more appreciation for the end product when they've all contributed. So we're really glad that, especially in this COVID time, that it is the local workforce that is providing the hands-on work at the Anguganak Water Tank project. The VOC Ed students will be honing their skills under the leadership of their trained carpenters and plumbers to help do the next stage of the project. And so this video shows the community getting behind providing the rocks and getting ready for the groundwork. They had to get special permission to be able to use the land in this higher up above the healthcare centre, so that the water tank could be gravity fed, which means that it will require less upkeep, and it was decided that this was a better option than using solar pumps or generators to pump the water up onto the hospital roof. And so the land was given to the healthcare centre, and it is well underway now. I recently had discussion with Stephen and Max about the schedule for the water tank project. It has been accepted that due to COVID and the restrictions of movement between different provinces, that has added to the delays. It is now a new schedule being written up, and that is that before the end of the year that the physical construction of the water tank project should be completed. Then after the school resumes in January, the next part of laying down the water pipes, taking the water from the constructed water tank site down to the healthcare centre will be completed before the end of the first term. We really appreciate the fact that HealthServe is supporting this project, and without your involvement it would not be possible. Thank you very much for this, and happy to answer any further questions.